Hi, welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff. Today is week 27 of my Lego City MOC. So it's been a while, a little over a month, since I've done one of these updates, and the reason why is I've been busy. Busy with transferring from this older table, which is rickety and it's tall, so the floor joists I should say, don't allow enough room for some of my larger, taller buildings like the 2 hotels I'm going to build. I'd had to shorten the floors by 2 on one of them, and that just wasn't acceptable. Plus the fact that it's so high that when I build, it's comfortable when I'm down here on the other table, but when I get up here, it's not very comfortable. And so I decided to build a new table, and this old table, as soon as I get it cleared off and cleaned, which who knows when that will be, I'm going to go ahead and dismantle that table and build me another table like this one that's lower and add on to it. But anyway, the reason I did this, there were several good reasons to do this besides the height of the table. One thing is, I was using these dark gray, these reddish brown base plates, and those only came in one set that I know of, the detective's office. So they're very expensive because they're out of print, I guess you could say, or out of production. And so I was able to get a hold of a bunch of these dark bluish gray ones though from a guy who was going out of business on Bricklink. I was able to get about 400 of them from him. So I decided to switch to that color, and I'll use the brown for other things. I have a movie, like a movie production area. I'm not going to say which movie yet, but it will be a movie you all know. I'm going to use that there. Also in the zoo I'll use the brown ones, and maybe like in the train yard area. So anyway, I do have a purpose for that. I didn't want to buy new ones because they're so expensive because they're out of production. So anyway, the population here, when I redid the city, I decided I needed a few more figures, so I added more of the jumper plates to allow more minifigures. The last time I talked to you, I had 163 minifigures. We're now up to 186, so I'm happy about that. Another thing here, well actually, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod so I can get some close-ups to show you the other things and the other benefits of redoing the city. So one of the biggest disadvantages that I faced was when I first started the city. These plates did not exist. Now these came out with the like the Sith, the Harry Potter, those kind, the Mickey Mouse, Marilyn Monroe, Iron Man. That's what these are from. Now these are much sturdier than this. But this is all I had to work with when I first started. And it's Technic squares, or bricks that are square, and I used the pins in them and plates to try to fortify it. And I used a Lego or a non-Lego plate that was large to try to hold it together. The problem is you have these really small gaps and they don't seem like much, but when you go across 4 base plates, which is 40 inches, what ends up happening is all those small spaces add up, and it was not flush with the side over here. In fact, it almost came over a whole entire stud. And that was until I started using these. Because these do not have as many spaces in between, it is not off by the time you get to the end. Or it is slightly, but not enough to make a difference. It still snaps. So that was a major improvement to redoing the city. Another thing is I love wiring. Sorry to tell you another story, and I know a lot of people are happy or proud of their dads, and I'm one of those. My dad, after getting out of the Navy, was an electrical engineer, and when I built my first city when I was probably 8 or 9, he convinced me to light it up. Well, back then, this is the mid 80s, basically all we did was we took flashlight bulbs and we ran wires, and I lit up the different Lego buildings that I had. And I also did stoplights as well, because they did carry flashlight or bulbs that were red, yellow, and green. Well, the flashlight bulbs burned hot during those days, so you can only keep it on a few minutes, or else it literally started melting Legos. Well, now we have LEDs that are smaller and actually brighter than the flashlights, and so I want to incorporate those into my buildings. And so what I've done is, under the sidewalks, I've ran those Technic bricks all the way through. And that will allow me to put LEDs inside those street lamps, those white ones, and then the black ones on the bridge, because the bridge, you can't see it, but underneath there, again, it's a Technic going all the way through those tunnels. So that'll take a while, but I will get to it. And I purposely built, let me show you. If you take one of these out, you can see there's a hole in there. I'll have to drill a little bit, but there's the hole there to run the wires. So I wanted to light it up, so that's one of the other reasons I rebuilt the city. The other thing is I didn't do these tiles correctly in the garage, and so they did not overlap from one base plate to the other. So basically if I shook it, it would just split. So when I redid it, I spaced them right so there's overlapping all over the place. This is not going anywhere. It's a great addition. And also I want to do some lighting kits. Some of the more famous buildings like the modulars, there's companies out there that do lighting kits, and I will be doing those inside of some of my buildings, not all of them because it is pricey, but there you go. Let me show you some other things. I add considerably more plant life on the right side of the buildings, or the Riverwalk. And I did that because that's going out of town. It's not going to be maintained as well. Sorry about the packaging peanuts in the background, but that's where I store them from my store. Like I said, I added more minifigures. I redid the cobblestone. That was fun. I started adding some of the bigger 3x3 round tiles. Thank you, Star Wars, AT-AT walkers. That's where that came from. I parted out, I want to say about 50 of them in the last couple months. So that gave me quite a few of those to pilfer from that and use them here. I also added street signs because the newer sets are coming out with more of those, and so I parted out a few of those and took those. And I also added bike lanes. Now, I've ordered a ton of these tiles on Bricks and Pieces on Lego.com, but what I did was the old one had a white line on it, and so I lost one stud for each side of the street, so 2 studs of space. Well, space comes at a premium on a Lego town, and so by just using a totally different bright color for the bike lane, that eliminates the need for that white line, so it gives me 2 studs back on every single street, and that will add up on a city as big as what I'm doing. So over here on the bridge, it's more, I was able to fill it in without having any gaps, so you can see what it looks like. Sorry for the shadow of the camera. The lighting's not that great in here, but you can see it again here. And every about 32 studs, I put the bike lane symbol on there. And yes, I did order an additional 200 of those from Bricks and Pieces. Those should be in shortly. Thank you for watching this update of my Lego City MOC. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And also hit all notifications. That way you'll know whenever I go live or whenever I put out a new video, which I do one of the 2 of those almost every single day. I hardly miss. So if you want to be notified when those are going to be, sign up for notifications. And also I try to give advance warning of at least an hour, sometimes more, for my live streams. So if you sign up for notifications, hopefully you'll get that. You'll be able to join that conversation. And also you can leave me a comment below. I love to hear from you. Also, there's a couple ways to support the channel. The first way is through PayPal. There's a PayPal link in the description. Hit it, donate if you'd like to help this keep going. Another way you can help me out is to become my marketing department and share this video and others on other social media platforms. The other way is going to Bricklink. I have a store on there. It's called A Chip Off the Old Block. I have between 700 and 800,000 pieces right now. Head over there. The link's in the description. You can buy parts for your MOCs and mods. I have a lot, so hopefully I have something you need. And of course, the last way is through Amazon. There won't be an Amazon link for this one because there is no Amazon product that I can really think of to put in there, but that link is often in there. And if you're going to do shopping on Amazon anyway, even if you're not going to buy that Lego set, hit the link, buy something. But because you went through that link, Amazon says, hey, thanks for the traffic, Mr. Chip Off the Old Block Toys. We're going to help you out a little bit by giving you a small bit of the proceeds, and I appreciate that. And if you're shopping on Amazon anyway and you're not going to spend additional money, you might as well. It'll help me out, and you're doing something good without having to spend more money. So anyway, I appreciate your viewership. Be good out there, be safe, and I'll see you on the next video.